We all remember one of the most iconic tools for vloggers and creators, the Gorillapod. I used one for a long time myself, and to this day, its influence on the video creator community is felt. Well, the company that makes the Gorillapod, Joby, has been extending their catalog, making more and more tools for creators, and the latest lineup of products deals with the other half of the content creation equation, audio. And actually, they've covered basically all of the main ways that you might use to get good sound in your videos. So in this video, sponsored by Joby, I'm going to give you a look, or rather a listen, into each of these audio solutions. Hey, it's Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? These are the Wavo microphones made by Joby. Okay, as I mentioned, this video is sponsored by Joby, and thus it will be an overview of the various Wavo products. You might have noticed one of them in my recent video since it's usually right in the frame. This right here is the Wavo Pod, a podcast-forward solution that clearly has worked for my talking head or A-roll recordings. But the other two audio products can easily be used for the same scenario that you're seeing right now. So to really illustrate that, they're all running at the same time. On camera, literally on this camera right here, about a couple feet away from me, maybe a little bit more, is the Wavo PRO, an on-camera shotgun mic that fits into the classic Gorillapod vlogging situations. And then right here on my shirt is a lavalier microphone, and it is the Wavo Lav Pro, which is technically a fourth microphone, but I am connecting it to the wireless microphone solution, the Wavo AIR. So as I go through the main features and applications of these various microphones, make sure you keep an eye out in the corner so you know which microphone you're actually listening to. We'll start off with the microphone that most easily fit into my particular workflow, the Wavo Pod. Now, given the fact that this microphone is in the frame, it's clearly best to have it fairly close to you to have the best effect. This is the classic like live streaming or A-roll position, and even though it might be pretty close to me right now, I have had it a little farther away than this, but still in the frame for recent videos here on my channel, so make sure you check them out for further examples of how this sounds. As this is a USB microphone, the Wavo Pod has fit best in my workflow as a separate recording mic connected to my laptop, after which I will sync it with the camera footage once I get into my editing software. But because it is a USB microphone, it can actually connect to most any other USB-enabled device like a phone or a tablet, so that you can use it as an upgrade to any of the built-in mics on those devices. That way you can upgrade your audio during things like video calls, for example. Looking at the actual mic itself, obviously you can see that it is connected to a boom arm so that I can position it exactly where I need it, but the mic does come with a stand that lets you angle it on a table to your liking. Up front there is a volume dial that pulls double duty. When the light around the dial is blue, it's changing the volume of whatever headphones you have connected to the built-in audio jack, so that you can actually dial in your monitoring of the audio. Hold down the dial button and it turns purple, that light, at which point the dial will adjust the microphone's gain. What made this a good microphone for my studio A-roll setup is its polar pattern. That's the general range and zone that the microphone's pickup pattern might be, and that's where these buttons below the dial come into play. This is a cardioid polar pattern on the left side, and it keeps the audio pickup to just one side. Obviously, the side that has this included pop filter on it. But you hit the pattern button and it will make both sides of the microphone active, giving this an omnidirectional pattern. So you can actually use this one microphone to record more than one person here and one person on the other side of it, which is why the term pod is pertinent. Remote podcasting or A-roll like this is one thing, but if you're doing like one-on-one interviews and podcasts, you could just put the microphone right in the middle and it will work well for that scenario too. Okay, so I've moved the mic over and I'm going to do a quick test with the two polar patterns. First with the cardioid pattern where just this side is active. And then I'm going to go to the back here and you'll notice that you can't really hear me quite as well. But then when I hit this button to make the microphone omnidirectional, I can go back around to the back, and compared to before, you can hear me much better on this side of the microphone. The Wavo Pod has proven to be a pretty good solution for controlled studio talking head recording like I do in most of my videos, but it is great to know that there's some significant versatility. This versatility, in which you can actually record more than one person at a time, actually appears in the other microphones, so let's go to those and talk about the shotgun mic now, the Wavo PRO. For the running gun scenario, the Wavo PRO looks like it fits right into the typical vlogging setup. It sets up right on the camera cold shoe and then plugs in via the 3.5mm audio jack so you get your baked-in audio while recording video. That's not the only way that you can use the Wavo Pro though, because on the side there is a USB-C port. You can mount the shotgun mic on like a small tabletop tripod and then use it as a USB microphone as well. One thing to keep in mind though is because this shotgun microphone was on camera for most of the video, it obviously was farther away from my face compared to the other two microphones. No matter what mics you use, the distance is going to dictate just how well it's able to pick up the subject's voice. That's why it's kind of nice that this shotgun could actually be used as a USB microphone, so you can reposition it for other forms of content. Otherwise, if you have the ability to extend the reach of the cable here, I'm just holding the shotgun microphone right here, you can reposition it in such a way that makes it closer to the subject and thus get even better audio from it. Okay, that's already an added layer of versatility, but for my purposes, clearly I have my setup pretty much dialed in already, so the Wavo Pod made more sense for my A-roll. Let's just say that my daily vlogging days are well behind me. For those times when doing on-location shooting though, the mic does have a bunch of features that help out. There is active noise reduction in this microphone. It is enabled via the Wavo Pro app, as you can see here. Right now you're looking at the levels and I can literally see in real time what you are actually hearing in the video right now. Now down here you have both EQ and A&R, but we're going to go ahead and turn on A&R right now, and I'll keep talking so you can hear what the change is like. Now granted, I don't have a whole lot of noise happening right now as I'm recording this clip, but we'll turn this on and maybe you can hear a difference in real time. Like I said before, my studio setup is pretty dialed in, but maybe A&R is still helping out from the shotgun mic, which is sitting right on my camera. But no matter what side you're looking at, it's easy to know when the microphone is on and recording thanks to LED indicators on both ends. The front shows you that the microphone is on, and then on the rear, the indicator that is in the power button will flash yellow and red when the audio levels get a little too high. Another helpful tool built into this microphone is the safety track, enabled by hitting the button above the power button. When you're using the shotgun mic by itself, the stereo mix is split into two different channels, two mono channels, and one of them will be 10 decibels lower in gain. So when you go into a video editing software, you can split those channels and use the safety track if something came in too loud on the other track. That way you have the flexibility to actually use the audio that works best for your content. You can set plus 10 or plus 20 gain on the side and dial everything in on the camera's audio settings, but this safety track feature just provides further peace of mind. Now I did use the Wavo Pro in a couple of shots for a recent video. Even though I ultimately didn't use these clips in those pieces of content, I do want to share them with you here so you can hear what it sounds like on location.
Good day, you beautiful people. Welcome to Isadas Tech, where we do tech in your life in style and in beautiful places.
The three 50 megapixel cameras that are on here are all working really well. Even the zooms, I'm not really one to zoom a whole lot, but in a place like this, you do definitely want to try it once in a while. And finally, there is an audio jack on the other side, which takes another microphone input. So, for example, you can plug in a lavalier microphone to that particular jack, and the split stereo track will instead make one side of the shotgun register and then the other side the plugged-in microphone. Now, that does mean that it replaces the safety track, so you have to use one or the other, but it does cover one quirk when it comes to on-camera microphones: the fact that whoever's in front of the camera is the only thing being recorded. Alright, I've connected the Wavo Lav Pro to the extra mic input that's here on the shotgun. Obviously, when it comes to a shotgun, you have to be in front of the shotgun for audio to come in quite well. But with this extra input, I can have the lav on and be able to ask people who are in front of the shotgun questions, get audio from both sides, and it's going to sound pretty good by splitting the two channels. That way I can mess with them in post. So clearly there are a few different ways of using this shotgun mic, which is pretty cool. And if you do need extra control, the Wavo app can actually connect to this very microphone via Bluetooth, which will enable more minute control of audio levels as well as customization of the split track usage for either the safety recording or the external microphone. And all of this in one mic, which makes the Wavo Pro potentially the all-in-one solution for many budding creators. Alright, finally we come to the wireless solution, the Wavo AIR. This is the most involved kit because what you get is the receiver that will connect to your audio recorder, like a camera, or even the Wavo Pro's extra input. But then you get two transmitters that have built-in omnidirectional microphones, two lavalier microphones that plug right into these transmitters, and a number of different mounting solutions. The mounting solutions are actually pretty interesting. The receiver will obviously plug into the camera and sits on the cold shoe mount in a pretty standard fashion. But then you could put the microphones on talent in various ways thanks to the interchangeable methods. There are 2 of these clips, which obviously will clip onto any clothing. You also have another cold shoe if you need to use that, and then there's this interesting pendant, which is a magnetized solution. Sometimes clipping these microphones on certain shirts can be a little bit difficult, so I think this necklace is actually a pretty elegant solution for putting it in just the right place. By the way, now you're hearing the audio coming from this transmitter and the built-in mic. I've gone ahead and turned off the other one, which had the Wavo Wavo PRO plugged into it. Speaking of these lavaliers, of course you could just plug in one of the lavaliers to either of these transmitters for a more minimal look on camera, which is what I've been doing sitting here at my desk for this video up until now. But here's another example of what it would sound like coming straight from the transmitter.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, we're walking away. How's the audio now? Can you hear me? Are you getting this shot? How about this shot? How's this for like A-roll? I feel like it's a good location shot. What if I go across the road? We do what we do to test these gadgets out. So I am quite literally across the street.
So you can tell there how far the mic can be from the receiver, which is a great feature of a wireless system. The audio goes with your talent so that the voices always sound clear no matter where they are. But in keeping with the theme of all of these mics, versatility, I want to mention that this 2-microphone solution can work well for, you guessed it, one-on-one podcasting too. One-on-one podcast or interview setups can just work by miking up both people, whether with the actual transmitter or by connecting the lavaliers. Or honestly, sometimes I just use the transmitters handheld like this, because when they're positioned directly and closely to the mouth like this, they sound pretty natural. So you can mount the transmitter, hold the transmitter, lav it up, record yourself, record someone else, or record together, and it's all possible on the Wavo AIR to a camera or a phone or a recorder for videos or audio content. It's a very versatile system. It's good to see that Joby put a lot of thought into each and every product in this lineup. I just went through 3 different methods of recording audio, but every single one of them also has a solution for recording more than one person at the same time, as well as connecting to devices other than cameras, either by USB or audio jacks. I am personally impressed that in just one lineup, basically every main way to get good audio for videos is covered. And by showing each of them off, even in just this one scenario of me sitting right here in my studio environment, well, I hope you got some ideas as to how Joby's different microphones might fit into your workflow. So let me ask you, which of these microphones would you like to inject into your content creation? Let me know in the comments, because these are a few significant ways of doing it, and links to all of these products are found in the description. Once again, thank you to Joby for sponsoring this video and for providing a look at the many ways that they're supporting the audio side. But from there, I'm going to go ahead and call it on this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourselves and each other, and enjoy your tea, everybody.